Hey guys, I got an awesome video. This is going to be extremely valuable to you if you have rental property. There is 7 not so obvious tips that have really helped me attract high quality tenants, increase renewal rates, and just get a high quality tenant base. So this was our first house, bought about 20 years ago, and the tenants moving out now, they've been in there for almost 3 years. They've kept it up nicer than I think we did when we lived there. So, all right, first tip is get a copy of your driver's license of the tenants. So this doesn't sound obvious, but I personally haven't experienced this, but I know several friends that have experienced a lot of fraud. People saying they're somebody and then they're actually somebody else. Some truly horrific stories that involved gangs and multiple drug rings and things like that. Very sophisticated criminals, and they just use identity theft basically at the end of the day. So that's something simple you can do. Just get a copy of their driver's license to verify who they are. Not many people do it. All right, second one, picture of pets. Accepting pets, it's very argued a lot, right? If should you accept pets, should you not? I personally like to accept pets because I charge for it and it's just free money. Well, I shouldn't say free because they typically do some kind of a damage. So everybody says, oh, I have like this little dog that doesn't do any damage, and it always, pees or on the flooring, or it smells horrible. I've got a horrific story with a cat who was left in an apartment that I had for like months, and it was beyond bad. So just get a picture of the animal, and that'll help you a lot to determine what you should charge for and things like that. But pet owners are usually able to charge for it and they stay longer. All right, because there's not that many rental properties available anyway, there's definitely not a lot of rental properties where they accept pets. Okay, 3, charge application fees. This is another controversial topic, but if you've got a lot of demand, it's just an easy way to cut back on who's really serious about this property, so nobody wastes your time. Get a ton of people that tell me, oh, they're interested, I want this property, but then they don't follow up on the application or whatever, and it just happens all the time. Highly recommend you charge an application fee for the right situation. If you've got a high demand property, I wouldn't recommend it as like a big money maker. All right, 4, get everything in writing. I know that sounds stupid simple, but the reality is most people don't do it. And, I have a standard lease that I've used for 20 years, but at the bottom, I just add all this custom things that we've talked about via text, email. So it's all right there in the lease. So if there's roommates or if there's parents involved, they can, all review that information. So 5, video walkthrough. All right, so this is awesome. On your application, on your listing, do a video walkthrough, because like this house that I just showed you, it's got small closets. It just is what it is. I'm not gonna rebuild the house with bigger closets, okay? It just is what it is. So I've got a fair amount of these. They're older houses, and it just is what it is. They have smaller closets. So I would show these houses multiple times, and it was just exhausting because they would want it, and they're like, oh no, I don't want it because of small closets. Well, you save yourself a ton of time if you just do a video walkthrough, show the small closet, point out those kind of things. Don't hide it, okay? So you don't waste your time or theirs. All right, 6, this is probably my favorite one, lease to companies. So like this renter that just moved out, they've been there 3 years, they bought their first house. It's awesome, I'm so happy for them. But that's just what renters do. They move, they buy a house, whatever. But when you lease to companies, so this company that I'm leasing to, they're going to do corporate housing is what they do. And then so they will turn around and re-lease it to a company. Now I could do that myself, but I'm not set up for it, especially on the furnishing. It's exhausting. We can do that in another video about why I'm not doing that. But anyway, that's just an example. You can lease to companies that do addiction recovery. There's tons of different examples for corporate housing and just leasing to companies. And the best thing is, like, I just got a 3-year lease at renewal, but the best thing is they need more houses. Okay, so now I'm looking for more rentals that I can just turn around and lease to this company. You obviously have to pay attention to credit quality to make sure they are a good person to rent to and they're not going to default. But a lot of times it's better than the actual like individual renter, because if an individual renter loses their job or whatever happens, then they're out. But companies typically have multiple sources of revenue that they can draw on to make their lease payments. All right, last one, avoid winter renewals. I've learned this one the hard way. I honestly, at this point, would just, if something became vacant in like December, I just wouldn't even put it on the market till like January, because there is like, or even in November, like Thanksgiving, because nobody moves after like in November and December. Basically, like nobody moves. So just avoid that renewal season at all cost. All right, I hope this was super helpful. 7 obvious tips. If I missed one, hit me up in the comments and let me know. Also, let me know your favorite one in the comments, or if you disagree with one of them, let me know in the comments. All right, hit like and subscribe. Tell me how much you hated this video or loved it. See ya.